Vive la France! Vive la France! Welcome, fellow railroad modelers. Today, I will be covering the French armor and some of the vehicles that were used in the spring of 1940. I will start out by showing the engine, which is manufactured by REE, a French company. This happens to be a 231 wheel configuration. I think it's a Pacific for the US type engines. Anyway, great engine, good pulling power, like the engine. The flat cars and all the vehicles on this consist are 3D printed. I recently purchased a Bambao BAM BU A1 Mini, an extremely easy 3D printer to use. It's a filament printer, and it prints does a really good job. And you can see just on this example here, that's pretty darn good. So highly recommend it, but it makes it easy, and there's files for just about anything you want to print out there for free or for minimal cost. But anyway, let's start on the consist. Up front here, these two first cars have Char B tanks. These were probably the heaviest tanks used in the campaign by any side. And these were designed in the 20s, put in production in the 30s. And as some people comment, it was the best World War I tank used in World War II. The French get a bad rap, really, in World War II, because on paper, all their tanks were better than the German equivalents, with maybe the exception of the 38T, which actually was a Czechoslovakian design. But there's more than just being on paper, having things. There's a lot more to it. So on this one, I'll just show right now. This one was designed with a 75 millimeter gun, and in the turret, it had a 47 millimeter gun. And a 47 millimeter gun in the 40s was considered very powerful. In fact, that gun could get through the armor of any of the German vehicles. But the 75 was a howitzer, just like the Panzer IVs that the Germans used. They weren't main battle tanks. They were used to destroy bunkers. So on a 1-to-1 equivalency, this was a better tank. The armor on this was impervious to the main anti-tank gun that the Germans used, the 37 millimeter gun. Panzer IIIs were armed with 37 millimeter guns. So they were impervious to the main battle tank the Germans used, and were impervious to the main anti-tank gun that the Germans used. Another excellent tank was the S-35, had decent speed, great armor, and a 47 millimeter gun. And the 47 millimeter gun is equivalent to the British Matilda II's 2-pounder. So anyway, a very good gun. Again, it suffered from a small turret. And let me say, that is what was the demise of the French. 3 things: the way they employed their tanks, the small turrets, and the lack of radios in any of their tanks. So coordination was null. But by having a one-man turret, then what that limits you to is you're commanding the tank, you're looking for the enemy, you sight the enemy, you got to slew the gun, you got to acquire the target, you've got to fire, you've got to reload, you have to reacquire or look for a new target, then you have to move the tank, and it's an impossible task for one guy, and it really slowed him down. So not good. Anyway, these are small French light tanks. These happen to be Renault R35s. Very good, not bad tanks. They were light tanks. They were far superior to like the Panzer II that the Germans had, and equivalent to the 38T. These had a short barrel 47 millimeter gun. The French were in the process of upgrading to long barrels for higher velocity, but the German invasion happened before they could finish that. These are Panhard 178 armored cars, and these were very good armored cars. And in fact, the Germans used the captured vehicles in the Eastern Front quite a bit for railroad security. These two flat cars have Hockness R35s, and very similar to the Renault 35s, a little different wheel configuration, some other changes, but again, armed with a short barrel 47 millimeter gun. These are Renault U2 armored supply vehicles, and what they would do is these were designed to bring ammunition to the front in an armored vehicle that could protect the crew from shrapnel or small arms, and they could tow a trailer or put ammunition in the back. They made thousands of these, very similar to the British Bren universal carrier. And then these are Lorraine L37s. These were armored vehicles that could bring supplies forward, pulling a trailer, and they could bring ammunition, supplies, gas, fuel if they needed it, oil, etc. So that is the consist. And again, all these are 3D printed. The flat cars were all 3D printed, and I'm very impressed with it. I really enjoyed learning about how the French employed their forces, the decisions they made, why they went to the specific turret designs, and I really like their markings. One interesting note of how they did things also was that the demarcation between the camouflage colors, they tended to use black as an outline. And I thought that was very curious. I thought it was kind of neat looking, so I enjoyed that aspect of it. So anyway, this is my French train. I hope you enjoy it, and hope you enjoyed Loki Productions, and I will hopefully see you around the CB&W Model Railroad Club in Grafton, Virginia.